Alright guys, let's talk about Constellation or DAG on the ticker. Now you can see we did the last video here on, July 19th. And basically a few days later it reached a peak here, a local peak we can say, at about 5.5 cents almost. And since then guys, it's gotten several rejections along this trend line. So we can see at least 3 rejections before today. Now I do have some disappointing news that it hasn't actually broken this trend line. So that is not a good thing, guys. It really needs to break this trend line to get excited. But also, it needs to break basically this 2-cent barrier. So it's been as high as about 2.17 cents today. But so far, it has not, set a daily candle or even maybe a 4-hour candle. Let's check this out. Actually, it did have a 4-hour candle above this point, but has recently sunk under that trend line. So one 4-hourly candle, is not really a lot. Oh wow, we can see it kind of bouncing here. So anyways, kind of hard to look at it when it's bouncing so much here. Let's just look at this on the daily time frame, and let's hope it can break this. Now, that would be the best case scenario. Now, looking at the volume profile here, guys, you can see that the point of control sits at about 3 cents, almost exactly. So we are well below that at the moment, almost a full penny, unfortunately, and we're coming up to the point where it's going to get a little bit hard to get over this speed bump here. Now, once we get above about, let's say, 3.2 cents, it's going to be a little bit easier to stair-step our way up. But basically, we are at the bottom of this candle right here, guys. This is the second largest volume candle. And yeah, we're going to have to push at least 1 to probably, let's say, 1.2 cents to the upside to get through this. Now, looking at the Bollinger Bands on a monthly time frame, these are quite wide, and they just really started printing back in December of 2024. So it's not even a full year yet of monthly Bollinger Bands. If we look at the weekly time frame, quite wide at the moment. We were a little bit more narrow back in the summer, guys. And we did get a pinch back here in November of 2024. You can see what that led to, a run to about 10 cents. But unfortunately, we're not getting that pinch on a weekly time frame. But on the daily time frame, let's take a look here. It is kind of pinching together a little bit here. But we do have several, pinches really along the way that haven't really led to anything. So I can't say the Bollinger Bands are helping the price action too much. Now, looking at the RSI and stochastic, both are actually pointed up pretty heavily here, and the stochastic is in the oversold territory, just crossed the red line to the upside, so it looks good here on the weekly time frame. Daily time frame, for now, looks okay. Blue line looks like it wants to turn back around, maybe avoid getting overheated, but RSI coming up pretty heavily, so for now, it's not bad. 4-hour time frame coming down on RSI and stochastic, kind of flat right here, but probably just about to turn around, unfortunately. 1-hour time frame coming down already on both. Blue line just crossed the red line on stochastic, so that is not good. 15-minute time frame getting oversold here in the stochastic, and the RSI is kind of riding the line here of getting overheated and staying in the neutral zone. So, in my opinion, that's a mixed signal. So lower term time frames, 15-minute and 1 hour, 4 hour, not so great. But the longer term time frames, the daily and the weekly, not too bad for now. If I put this on a 4-hour time frame, yeah, it is trying to probably retest, I would say, this trend line. Let's see if it can hold it. That would be massive if it could. But right now it is slightly under. So you can see it's just slightly under, but it is kind of bouncing back and forth here, kind of teeter-tottering, and there's still about 2.5 hours more to go on this candle, which is the 4-hour and plus the daily candle. They both have the same amount of time at this point in this video. Now we need to consider the MACD here, and guys, you can see it's getting out of this dark red period. Looks like it's starting this fading red period, and looks like the blue line wants to turn to the upside here and cross this red line. Probably in the next week or so, I would say that will happen. Now, the daily time frame also just a few days ago got into this dark green period, and the blue line crossed the red line to the upside. So yeah, momentum wise, at least on the weekly and daily, looks pretty good in my opinion. Now DAG is the number 558 project on the list, guys. It's sitting up about 23% today, so that is good to see. You can see my average cost here. I don't have too much DAG, guys, but I have it in staking in Biconomy, and every day it's making me a lot. So I'm getting about 4 or 5 DAG a day free. Anyways, the max supply is really unlimited, unfortunately. Circulating, you can see it's about 3.7 billion, and all of this is circulating according to this. Now, it may not be correct, but who really knows? Now, let's go down to the all-time high was about 45 cents. That's 4 years ago, sitting about 95% down at the moment. Now, if you bought it at the all-time low, 0.001 cent, you're still sitting up about, what, 1,800%, so you're probably a billionaire still. So that's great if you bought it down there. Now, there really isn't any news that I saw here in CoinGecko. Usually it would be right here if you had some news. So there is nothing really fueling this 23% run, except for maybe, you know, the end of the government shutdown in America, guys. Now, speaking about the government shutdown, Bitcoin is also slightly reacting today, but I don't think it's official just yet as of 10:30 my time tonight in the Czech Republic, guys. But once we see the official news that the shutdown is ended, I do believe it will break through at least these two resistances here and may get back up above this trend line. We have to see, guys. I do think there's going to be a much larger reaction to the government shutdown news when it's official that it's over. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I also have Moodix here if you're looking for a free 7-day trial, and if you're looking for a cold wallet that's going to pay you back, guys. Basically, CypherRock, they have the X1, and they're going to start airdropping within the wallet. So if you want a wallet that's going to pay you, this would be the one to get, and you can get 17% off your order today. Now, keep in mind, once these, cold wallets are sold out, you're going to miss airdrops, and it may take time to get restocked, and yeah, you will miss some free money. Now, if you want to follow me on X, you can also follow me right here, guys. Now, Bitcoin monthly returns, we are slightly down here still. We're minus 3.22% in November, but keep in mind November is one of the more explosive months for Bitcoin, and we're usually up about 42% on average. Now, the median is 8.81%. So let's see what happens. If we go to the quarterly returns right now, not looking too good for Ethereum and Bitcoin at the moment, but I do think this will turn around shortly. Now, Ethereum is what I'm most worried about, guys, and basically you can see we are coming back down here and basically retesting the bottom of this channel. Now, here I've marked off this line, so basically on Sunday, which is right here, guys, if we are below this line and we drop out of this channel, I do believe there's going to be a bear market. Now, I don't know the length of that. It could be a short-term one, could be a medium-term. I don't believe it would be a long-term bear market, but I do believe dropping out of this channel would create big problems for us. So basically, we lose 34.10 and it's for sure. But yeah, I would like to stay within this channel, because usually when you break to the top side of a channel, guys, you usually go back to where it was. So that means it would get back up here almost to all-time highs if it breaks the channel to the upside. Let's just hope this is kind of a fake out to the downside. But yeah, we do need to be wary that Ethereum is still struggling. Now, as for the total market cap, it's still pretty similar to Ethereum. It's still trying to hang on to this channel. So it's at 3.51 trillion at the moment, and trying to keep above 3.5 trillion, at least on the daily time frame. Now, looking at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, you can see it clearly made its way back into the channel yesterday and actually has touched this as support and now is getting a green candle, although there is a big push to the downside here. So that isn't good. We want to see more of a greener candle here because this signals downside pressure. Now, looking at one of my favorite charts, guys, this is the Bitcoin dominance, and basically you can see this is starting to kind of fade away. I know we have a green candle here, but it's, losing this trend line. So this trend line held us up since September the 13th, got many bounces along the way. And the difference here but between here was basically we got a candle straight back up and over this line. Here we lost it, we retested it twice and got a rejection. So even though we have a green candle today, we are starting to maybe roll over here and sitting at 60% at the moment, but the next support, at least on the weekly time frame, is 58.61%. Now as for the USDT dominance, guys, you can see in the last like 6 weeks or so, we have hit this 5.3% line and not been able to break it. So that's a good sign. We are getting a red candle today, and this just started the week. This is the weekly time frame though, but basically this is just 1 day. But so far, getting a rejection, but there's still supports below us that we do need to break and start making our way back down to where we were before. Now the altcoin season index is stuck on a 41 here once again. Now we are getting about $340 million that have been liquidated in the last 24 hours. Little bit elevated, but not too bad. If we look at the fear and greed, it is a 29 today. So yesterday was extreme fear at 22. So that was kind of a big, jump here. We are only in fear now. Now the next update in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. If we go to the bull market peak indicators, still 100% hold, still below 50%, still 0 from 30 have been hit. Pi cycle top indicator is going up now a little bit. It's at 51%, and this is what 51% looks like. So yeah, maybe it's starting to come in on one another again, but yeah, it's only 50% or 51% progress basically. Now tomorrow on the economic calendar, only Fed Vice Chair Barr is speaking, so there's really nothing to worry about tomorrow. We also have a pretty positive day according to Moodyx. Look at this, 0.39 points positive. Sentiment still risk on, trend is growing, everything is green across the board, guys. So this is great. I mean, we're just not seeing this really roll over to crypto that much yet, but I do believe we are going to catch up with the NASDAQ and S&P. FedWatch Tools shows that we have gone down slightly here. Basically, I think we were at 2/3 exactly. Now we're just slightly below 2/3 here for that quarter point cut. Now, if we go to Polymarket here, it's a little bit higher odds, 69% for a 25 basis point decrease. But I think the odds have gone up for a 50 basis point decrease here at 3%. I think it was 2% the other day. Maybe wrong, maybe it was 3%. But no change is still, pretty sizable at 29%. And this actually is not gray anymore. So I guess there's people still betting that we're going to get a 25 basis point increase, which is insane in my opinion. Now, Trueflation is showing a 2.22% inflation rate still. If we go to crypto bubbles, looking pretty good today. Look at Uni. Wow, that actually has just popped up very green here. Not sure, maybe there is some news. I almost did an STRK video. Let me know in the comments if you want that video, maybe tomorrow if this is still pumping. Anyways, guys, if you're looking to stake your DAG, go to Coinondo here. There's 4 results. Like I said, I have mine in Biconomy. I've actually locked mine up for some time, guys. I think I did it for 90 days. Maybe I did it for 180. But anyways, doesn't really matter, guys. And there are a couple other places like CoinW and Bitrue that you can stake, but it's not so much. And anyways, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends, guys. Like I said, check out those links that I do have below. It really helps me when you use my links. Of course, I do get commission, but it's very small. I can tell you it's just pennies. Now, if you want to give all the commission to the exchanges, then hey, that's your prerogative. But it really helps influencers when you use their links. And if you're looking for a new exchange, maybe we have a better one listed below. So check it out. And if you were looking for that hard wallet, there is CypherRock, and it will pay you in the future. Now, it's not going to be right away, they told me, but this is going to start in the near future. So keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one.